Where's the remote? Found it.
Turn off the lights.
All right.
Did you grab the drinks?
Yeah, I got them.
Okay, I'm making the popcorn.
It's starting. Come on.
All right. Okay, I'm here. Hit the button. Hi, I'm Jill.
And I'm Gianna.
And welcome to the
We Watch It All podcast. Where we watch it all and give you our opinions.
AKA the opinions no one ever asked for.
Gotta get it right.
Yeah, I know.
Pull it together, woman.
I know.
And you think you would. Because this is the finale.
Welcome to the end. Yes.
We have made it to the end of the OC.
I can remember when you first said, let's start the OC. There's 16 seasons. And I thought, okay, we can do it. And you were so
because
negative.
A lot of them were like 21
You're like,
episodes.
we're never going to do it. We're never going to do it. And then she had us on a strict diet regimen of day, night, day, night, day, night. And then she loosened her grip a little bit. Thank God, because the show's not even on and we don't even have a release date yet. Yeah. So there's that.
I just wanted us to be ready. And it was more like, so not just like, oh, ready for OC, but like I didn't want to have to be doing this while New Jersey was already airing.
Yeah,
so true. Most likely...
This is already confusing enough because we were watching while we were recording and it was very confusing because I was starting to like blend some of them together and it was like...
Until New Jersey probably comes back, we will be taking a break. Obviously, we'll still be doing our weekly stuff, but
we'll
for the past 2 months, we've been pushing out.
I don't think we should start another one for right now.
No, because I think it will interfere. I think we'll save that.
And it's coming fairly soon.
February 7th is New Jersey, and then I'm sure OC will be closely behind. And we might, I don't know, we'll have to see once we watch it. Maybe we'll do something for the Trader show, because we know there's Housewives on there and some other Bravo celebrities. So maybe we'll throw stuff in there here and there. But
something, but who knows?
For now,
for our reality fans,
we're gonna take a little break because even before that, remember we were doing Housewives and like Andor and all this stuff. We are going to go back to just weekly stuff for now. We need a minute to regroup.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna do 15 and 16 together, just because if you know, 15's the COVID season, so not much can happen. And
16 they were kind of coming off of COVID, so not everything was really operational.
Yeah, it was still.
I mean, they did start opening things,
and also these were some of the shortest seasons out of the newer stuff. These were 16 and 19 episodes, so not a lot of episodes compared to like 23.
Yeah, well, I think they had no choice with COVID. Probably they knew they just got to get what they could get at that point. They were fortunate that they were already.
They filmed half the season.
Yeah, they were already halfway through because otherwise they would have really had a lot of problems. But they I don't know about you, but on these particular 2 seasons, I felt like they really like took a long time on like an event. Like an event was like 3 freaking seasons long, or a trip was like 4 episodes long.
Yeah,
like where it was like normally things are not like it's like okay.
Well, I mean, sometimes the big main girls trip.
This is gonna go
bad. The cats are gonna fight.
This is gonna go bad. We chose to do this during their dinner time.
I don't even remember what we were saying because the cats ended up fighting.
I don't think we got anywhere.
It doesn't matter. We're just going to introduce the ladies. Oh, crap.
No, we didn't do any of that. No.
Well, I don't even know. You were saying something, but it doesn't even matter anymore. We're just introducing the ladies now.
Okay. I think that's what we were up to. So, season 15 premiered on October 14th, 2020, and the ladies were...
Shannon, Brodwin, Gina, Elizabeth, Kelly, Emily.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you're like, who's Elizabeth? I don't remember Elizabeth, because that's how I feel.
Elizabeth Boring.
Yeah. Boring? No. Elizabeth Boring.
Yeah.
Because, holy crap. If somebody came at me with a gun pointed to my head and said, either you tell me exactly what Elizabeth did this season, or I'm going to shoot you, I'm getting shot. Mm. Because, listen, I got her storyline. Got it, right? But I started skipping those stuff. As soon as I know you're not going to return, you're skipped through it because you're boring.
Well, you skip through it if you're really Dullsville.
And you're boring. You're boring. We've not skipped through that many wives. Elizabeth Boring, we have, because...
I'm sorry, Elizabeth.
I'm so
sorry.
There was nothing interesting to the point where I would see her face and I'd disassociate and pretend I wasn't even watching the show, and then I'd be like, oh crap, they're in a group setting, I gotta pay attention. Oh my god, like literally a snooze fest. There was nothing interesting about her storyline. Like,
well, I mean, oddly enough, Kelly brought in Kelly brought in Elizabeth, and I think she knew Bronwyn a little bit, Yeah, well, there you go.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, because both her, Kelly and Bronwyn, and Elizabeth left. And we're not invited back. So, not a shocker there
Which
after this season.
I did see that apparently Tamara was invited back to 3 episodes.
I have that.
Yeah.
Did you just read that off my notes?
No.
Oh.
Oof, you just put coffee in my face.
You read that off of Wikipedia?
Yeah, I did. I couldn't remember Elizabeth's name, so I had to look it up.
There you go.
And that came up there. But yeah, they were going to let her wrap up the show. I didn't realize that.
She said no, yeah. I knew that too, but I saw it on Wikipedia and it reminded me, yeah.
Yeah, which once we talk about the season, I'll give you my opinions on why I think Tamara was better to not come for this season.
And interestingly enough, Gina Keogh was the voice that narrated the beginning episode.
Okay, so we've talked about this. In my opinion, post-COVID, or once COVID had started, editors of these Bravo shows were having a fun time.
No,
and I think that's what that
Look
intro
at those
was
clouds.
for.
Holy crap. It's like Armageddon descended over the apartment. Do you not agree? When have you ever seen them black like that? What does that mean?
They're filled with rain? Probably. I don't know.
Should we take a picture?
For what?
Those black clouds. Really? I've never seen that.
No, because all the lights are on in here. You're not going to see out the window.
Okay.
They had it was like a multiverse kind of trailer where they're like showing all the past scenes and like
weird.
It was just weird. It was the definition of these editors were having a little fun.
She's waiting for him to be done.
Yeah, they switched their food.
I know, but sometimes like she's just very sweet about
she'll
it.
just sit there.
Sometimes she's brutal and pushes him, but sometimes our cats will just sit and
I've
wait.
seen him bite her ear if she doesn't switch with him fast enough. So,
Cooper, I hope that's not a truth that you bit her ear. Anyhow. Back to the wives.
But yeah, it was just kind of weird. And then also, we'll just get right to it so we don't have to talk about her again. Gina pops up again in season 16 for some party. And literally, they say, I don't know how she got invited. Like, they were like, she was a friend of a friend of a friend. Why? No. Stay away. I don't like her. She's done nothing to me.
She's
but
probably going around going to people, hey, do you know what the end of the season party is? How can I get an invite? Where is it? How do I get in?
Let me know how I get to the season finale party. You're not coming back.
Yeah, so there you have it. So the season opens with Kelly, Gina, and Shannon.
Wait, are we doing the storylines?
But I'm just gonna give you like a little that they moved in to the to new homes. I believe they're all in the same area now. In Newport Beach. So they're like within walking distance of each other, which is interesting. Yeah, but if you want to hit with the storylines, because I know you keep yours separate, mine are kind of interdispersed.
All right, so Bronwyn, her storyline this season.
Oh my god, I wrote exactly the same thing.
Is realizing she's an alcoholic and a lesbian.
Oh my god, I wrote like literally. I cleaned it up, but that was exactly what I like had that exact sentence in the beginning, and then I did something else to it. Please don't push my laptop though, honey.
Because it really that's what it is. I feel like everybody had like a 2-part storyline with COVID.
Yeah, a little bit.
Gina's was moving into her small and depressing townhouse.
Oh, poor girl.
And she was also dating that guy, I can't remember his name.
James?
Matt.
Matt.
Who's James?
Nobody. There's no James.
Oh, that's Noella's ex-husband.
Oh, sweet James, yeah.
All right, and then Elizabeth is getting divorced from her billionaire ex-husband and also being in a cult. Really, that was it.
There was a small segment about her helping animals, which I wish, you know what, if you were going to do something, I wish you would have delved deeper in that, because we never heard, did she open the clinic? Did she buy the land? What did she do? Nothing. Because it was probably a farce.
Or cease and desist. Shannon, I felt like it was meant to be sending her kids off to college, and then COVID hit, and then it was like her having COVID and her kids and the family
full-blown
struggles
COVID,
like that.
Yeah, she got lucky.
Yeah, because I don't like the kids growing up storyline. It's so boring to me. And then Kelly was her new boyfriend?
Yeah, I guess I would say her new boyfriend, because here's the thing with Kelly, like, I don't know what her storyline was, except that she got a boyfriend. That was
and then
really
like a little bit of like the COVID denying towards the end.
Well, but I don't think she intended that to be her storyline. I think that just surfaced on her.
That was an accident.
Yeah. It wasn't a good accident for her.
Emily's, I could not think of what it was before her husband getting COVID. That was really it. Like, I don't think she was doing much. Struggling with the husband and that. Like, I really couldn't find one for 15.
I just put that she was a pot stirrer.
Yeah, see, that was really it. Like, she was just in the drama, and then her husband got COVID.
Yeah, like I
that's
don't
what I'm
feel
saying. Like everybody had like
maybe
they had an original one, and then
here's the thing. Maybe something else was going to go on, and then when COVID hit,
That it
you know,
became that.
it just screwed up everybody. And then whatever she was going to do, maybe it
Yeah, because I feel like
didn't
Shannon's
happen.
first half was going to be getting the kids to college, and then it was going to switch to something else. But now you don't know what it was.
It could have been her empty nesting,
Probably.
and all
Oh,
that kind
God.
of. Yeah, I don't know. So who do we start with? Here?
I don't know. Start with whoever,
Well,
because
let's
I
just-
honestly
let's
don't
just-
have many comments
Let's
on
just lay this out too, because
Oh.
it is a big thing.
What?
So COVID halted production in March of 2020, and because of COVID, the cast had to film themselves. They were doing self-filming.
Yeah.
Oddly, well, I spoke about Gina, how she was. I don't know. I can still wrap my mind at that, but
She was what?
that she was the narrator. I just still can't get over that.
Oh, I'm confusing both Ginas together.
No, Gina
Gina
Keogh. I just
Kino.
But when COVID hit, everybody started to panic. In the very beginning, they were starting to panic because nobody knew what was going down, what was going on.
Well, no, but it was the classic, like, this is gonna last a month. It's your
Well, we all
common
thought that
flu.
too, though. I mean, honestly, we all thought that too. No, at the very beginning, we
bit.
just thought it was like a swine flu. Like when you hear about, oh, there's something happening. You
But
never.
they carried that out for a little bit. Like, to the end of the season, they were like, oh, this is gonna go away quite quickly.
No, but I think a lot of people did. I think a lot of people truly thought it, because we have never had an incident like this. So I think they truly thought, oh, this will be over and we'll be fine. But yeah, it didn't happen that way.
My opinion, can I say this?
Yeah.
I think they should be grateful for COVID. Let me tell you why. Because the first half of the season was incredibly boring. It was more interesting to watch how they all dealt with COVID.
Yeah, I
think they would have had a really like COVID at least made it.
I think the season would have been worse than it was.
Interesting. Like it could have been really bad.
I think it would have been worse
really
than it was.
boring. Could have been like a New York, like the last season, like one of the last 2 seasons of New York, where they just were like, we could have ended up with like a whole new thing. I think it would have been pretty bad. I think they got a little lucky there.
Because the COVID caused tension between Emily and Shane, Shannon and John. So that gave them a little bit of now, like, they got squabbles to discuss. Bronwyn was, like, going stir crazy and lashing out at everyone, especially her husband, Sean.
Yeah.
So it did kind of give them something in a weird kind of way.
I feel like if it wasn't, I feel like they could have gotten rid of Gina or Emily. Mm-hmm. Maybe not Shannon, just to keep somebody who feels close enough to know G.
I think Shannon's just such a loose cannon, they'd never.
Yeah, I just feel like they could have almost wiped out majority of the cast and just had kept Shannon around if it was a normal season. I feel like they felt like, oh crap, well, let's give Gina and Emily another try. And I think that's maybe why they go so crazy in season 16.
Well, I think we should start with Bronwyn, because personally I think Bronwyn I felt like she had a big storyline in a weird way, because I think she kept inserting herself into things.
Yeah.
So I don't think it was just that about her.
With her.
But of course, she comes back discovering that she's an alcoholic, or so she says. She claims she's an alcoholic, and she's in, she didn't go to rehab, but she's in What's the matter?
Nothing.
Oh, she's going to meetings twice a day, what have you. And I guess this clarity gave her a realization that she is a lesbian, but wants to remain married to the husband, which I don't even understand how she thinks she should justify this. Because I think it's just mean to do to the husband. It's bad enough that you're going to come out and say that you're a lesbian and that you never were attracted to him, and now you're going to ask him to stick around. And I don't know. Because I don't know who she thinks he's going to find that's going to want to be with someone like that.
Like, then she was like, they're like, are you dating someone? And she's like, a 3, and she's like, yeah. She's like, how would you feel about him dating somebody? She was like, no.
Well, she said the incidents happened and she went nuts.
Yeah, so that's kind of weird. So if you don't like him, then why do you care? And then the second thing is, like, I mean, it makes sense when you think about it, when she explains it, that she prevented her alcoholism by having 9 kids, basically, because she had 7 kids, sorry.
7.
9 of them all together, or her family's 9. But I was like, that kind of makes sense why she would keep having kids.
But the thing was, it was not so much the 9 kids, but
7 kids.
7 kids. But it was because she was breastfeeding in between each one that it made it so much longer than it should have been.
Yeah.
Because, so that's what, but I mean, I guess that's how she figured out. But that's a long time to commit to someone. And then she has a vow renewal and all, like, it's just like.
Which do I need to say?
Well,
she cursed her marriage.
Yeah, but it's like bizarre because you discover at the end that this is who you want to be and all, and that's great, but it's like you kind of put this guy through so much crap. And nobody out there is going to want to be with someone that's still married to somebody else. No. Like, if you guys are this comfortable with each other and stuff, anybody, well, most people are not going to be like, oh, that's so great, you get that well along with your wife, your ex-wife, but they would prefer that than having some horrendous ex-wife that's going to always be doing something vindictive.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
I don't know.
so
It's
I just don't see why
confusing.
I'm curious to see where they're at now, but like, you know, the current day, but I don't know.
I don't know.
But through her whole
it was
thing,
really,
she's,
my comment was just that the vow renewal.
yeah, she
She
struggles.
cursed
She struggles with the identity and being drunk and the pregnancies and her whole life. And of course, now nobody wants to talk to her because she thinks they don't want to talk to her because she's sober. And some of them actually say that they thought she was funner when she was drunk, which is kind of sad. It's kind of mean, but I mean, even her own mother said that you're no fun now that you're not drunk. I just feel that now that she's sober, she has so much to say, and half of it's still not right. So I don't understand that. Because clearly, when you show the beginning where Shannon goes over to Gina's house, that's her whole big thing that started everything, was when Shannon went over to see Gina's house. And she did not say that it was sad and depressing.
Yeah.
She said it is small for 6 kids, which it was, and Gina agreed with that. But she said, we're making it work.
I mean, listen, if you came from the Bador Castle with the gym, I'm not gonna lie, you probably would walk in there and think that house is a little small and depressing. I'm sure if Shannon walked into our apartment, she'd go, "This is sad."
But she didn't say that,
No, I
though.
know, but I'm just saying.
But she kept, even in her sober state, insisting that this is what she said.
And then the golf lie too. Like, she kept making up these weird lies. I don't know if she was just trying to stir up drama and she just doesn't know how
either that
to,
or maybe
right?
she thought that she remembered hearing these things, or these are things she thought she heard when she was drinking and was making them into truths. I don't know, but she stirred a lot of nonsense.
But, like, not even, like, correctly.
No.
Like, there's one thing to stir a rumor, but you gotta at least make sure the rumor's semi-correct, because that's the only thing that, like at least when Vicky was spreading all those things about Kelly, like, not that they were right, but, like, if you're gonna do a rumor, it has to at least sound kind of plausible.
Yeah.
And the golfing, she's like, he doesn't even golf, and
Well,
he doesn't. And then it was the dad thing too, because
That's
then
the
literally
thing.
in season
A lot of the
16,
stuff-
she
yeah.
shares. She's like, he is estranged from his father. Like,
And he shared a story.
that's what I'm
with
saying.
them,
Like, that's what.
with the other people, and very, like, I mean, his story was really sad. That I can't imagine
Wants
that
him to change his name.
that
and
that
things
could have
like-
even happened.
So,
That telling him he's disowned from them. Like, so
Had to
this
call his
guy's
dad,
this is who he's calling to come get him. I don't think so. But I don't know. It's really sad too that she caused all this stuff between her and Shannon, because apparently, like, when I thought it was really sweet when she confided in Shannon in the very beginning, like, you know, this is what's going on, and all because her mom was gonna, like, out her if she didn't take back the stuff she was saying about her mom or something. Like, Shannon was very you know what I didn't like? All the people were trying to be real supportive of her in the very beginning. I know, and she didn't, like, she was telling them, oh, don't not drink around me and stuff like that. But how come it was okay when what's her name, Gina, said, I'm not gonna drink around you? And she was like, oh, that's so supportive of you and stuff like that. But anybody else that did it, like, she threw, like, a fit or something. I don't know. It was just really weird. I mean, the best scenes had to be at her vow renewal with Shannon.
Oh, yeah.
We might as well just go right into Shannon.
Yeah, we'll just go to Shannon.
Because Shannon was a hot express. At the vow renewal, that was the crack up to me, because that was when she went up to the kids and was talking crazy talk and all that kind of stuff. But
and then even in 17, she mentions, I didn't even realize I met Dr. Jen at the vow renewal.
No, she was.
Yeah.
Wait, I got my lay down. Yeah, she was plastered, and when she went back to the room, she was equally as, like, drunk.
Eating
like,
the cheese that was out all day.
oh my God.
Yeah, no.
Really, come on, Shannon. But I thought also the first scene with her and Kelly was funny, where Kelly brings the Uno card.
Amigas, yeah.
Yeah, the Uno cards to give it to her, which I thought was a nice icebreaker for Kelly. And I'm not really a Kelly fan after this season at all.
No.
I wasn't.
Just like Kelly takes a turn. Like, not.
I wasn't a fan last season either,
No,
but this solidified it. I was done.
Yeah, no, she was just too much. You know what I mean? Like there's good, you know, you can overstir the pot, but she was getting a little Lisa Rinna getting too crazy with that pot stirring.
Yeah, I don't. It
was just a little too much. I will say though, I've noticed that in my opinion, Shannon has started to pick up, like, Tamara and Vicky's old storylines. Like, she's picked up not that it was like an option, but she picked up the divorce. She picks up not liking the new girls, you know, struggling with those things, like just things that I've noticed that I feel like I've seen them do before already. Like,
Yeah,
she's almost like a repeater. I mean, technically, in a sense, everybody repeats everybody's storyline. Like, you know what I mean? In a sense, like, divorce is the most common one anybody can do, but I just noticed it that it's like, I don't know. I feel like watching all of them back to back, you notice how repetitious some of the storylines can be, but I feel like if you watched it, you know, not every year, once a year.
Oh, I know what I think her storyline was going to be in the beginning.
What?
Was not just the kids, but she was doing that, the real lemon.
Oh,
the tincture or whatever
Real
they
for
called
real or
it.
something?
And she was introducing that lemon tincture, but I don't know what she calls it. I forget what it was called. But
still don't know what it is.
It's like a lemon thing that you squirt. I think it's got like vitamins, but you squirt it in a drink to drink or something like that. But that was what she was having, the housewarming party where Bronwyn went crazy and threw the drink in the pool, and Gina was screaming, "You're a sloppy drunk," or something, not realizing she is
You're a sloppy chihuahua.
Sloppy chihuahua. I think that's what was going to be her storyline. But I have to say, me personally, I would have been so disappointed if COVID happened and it was not their season, because I would have been dying to know what Shannon was doing.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's why I think COVID was so interesting, because it's like Shannon, who's like
Shannon and COVID,
the most freaked out person ever. That's
yeah,
like,
there was just no way that, like, if we couldn't see that, I would have to know.
Yeah,
and she,
because even if
was
you
true
picked it
Shannon.
up like after like for example, like New Jersey was COVID season was like the summer of the first summer of the year.
Yeah, after
COVID.
we were already
so
in
it was
it.
kind of like the lockdowns were like lifted up. It was summer. They were letting people go out, do more things. They were like, they literally started with you hearing like whispers of like, oh, there's been a few cases.
It starts with the you see, like,
at the vow renewal, they're saying that somebody's grandma's
mother,
grandfather.
No, Bronwyn's grandmother had it or something.
Yeah, but no, her grandfather works with nurses.
But I thought the
COVID patients.
But I thought the grandmother had it, or
I think she ends up getting it after the party.
And then because then they freak out thinking, oh, am I going to get it or something like that? Because I forget what's her name said she. I think it was Shannon that said she kissed the grandmother or was talking to the grandmother or something like that.
Well, they were all like hugging up on her.
Yeah, they were like messing with her or something. But I mean, the ones that ends up getting it is Shannon and Emily.
Yeah, I think that's it.
I think it was just them two. And Shannon's kids are the ones that bring it in. So, you know, she's livid with those children. And she's got all her little
My favorite
medicines.
part, though, is that she tells John's son that you can't come and go because of the COVID. And it ends up being her own daughters that bring the COVID. Like, if I was him, I would have been upset.
Well, no, that's what caused the tension was, I think, because of that.
It's your kid who did it.
Yeah, it was her kids in the end. But, yeah, and then also with Sophia trying to get ready to go to college, that was... Sophie. That was her main thing.
That's what she was setting up for.
Yeah, I mean, do we just get rid of Elizabeth Vargas and just throw it out there?
I feel like we talked enough about her in the intro. We told her who she is.
Did we?
Yeah, I said she's divorcing her billionaire ex-husband, and she was part of a cult.
Well, the only thing that she was involved with was organizing the trip to Lake Arrowhead.
Yeah.
That was a friggin' 5,000 episode.
Oh my god! I was like, how long?
It was never going on, and I think they were only gone for like
3 days, maybe like a weekend.
Was it, or was it overnight?
No, they were definitely there maybe at least 2 days.
They were probably 2 days. It was probably a weekend.
Yeah, they probably left and got there like on a Friday.
This out. Oh my gosh.
Well, because I think they didn't know what to do.
I know. I think they knew that they had them kind of sequestered alone. So that was good.
Yeah, because if you look, you can even see there's like a door. Like they had it looks like kitchen doors.
Yeah,
almost.
You were saying with the
and the one
hand
side
sanitizer.
said, well, one door said enter, and I think another one said like exit. And then they had like the hand sanitizers that you would see like in stores to go. Like it was like, no joke around. Like
Emily didn't get to go because she had COVID. And Shannon, and well, then the husband got it.
In the hospital while they were there.
Yeah, but I think she didn't go because I saw when she called Kelly, she was telling her that she tested positive for COVID. Yeah, and then Shane got it. But Shannon couldn't go because her kids had gotten the COVID and she had to quarantine because she was around them.
Yeah, and then while they were there,
she called up and said that she tested positive. Initially, she tested negative, and then she tested positive.
I think she tested negative a couple times.
Yeah, a couple of times, and I think she just did it. I think she did it in true Shannon fashion too soon. But when you think about it, that was in the beginning when nobody knew that you had to wait like 3 days to show the incubation. So like that was Can't
Yeah,
wait.
which it's kind of funny to watch these things because Elizabeth, one of her comments is like, yeah, the government's doing this for the vaccine and the money.
For
and the,
money, yeah.
And it's like, that's not how it works. And it's like, I don't know, it's just so funny now because it's like nobody, I mean, obviously companies got money to make the vaccine,
Oh, yes,
but they
they
don't
do.
charge us to get the vaccine. So I was like, okay,
No,
I don't
but
even know what
insurance.
the hell she's...
But somebody was paying for those things. Trust me.
No, I know, but she's saying like, I was just like, okay, go ahead, talk your talk, Elizabeth, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm skipping.
That trip was where she revealed she was involved in a cult.
What?
Rebels. She was involved in a cult. All the ladies were sitting down and they were discussing like Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
And Kelly was just painful to listen to. And Bronwyn a little bit too, because I know her intentions were good to like walk in all these things, but it was a little bit the way she was going about it.
Yeah, like...
It was a little pretentious, like instead of...
What do they call that? There's a name for it. Performative activism.
Yeah.
Is what
I think that's what Kelly was trying to like get to.
Like,
but
yeah.
they were all just
But
a
Kelly
hot mess.
didn't do it in the right way because she's Kelly. So of course she didn't
No.
get to like, And my favorite though is like also I noticed towards the end of the season I feel like somebody must have told Elizabeth, hey, listen, you're probably on the chopping block, so you gotta, because she started butting herself into everything at the reunion.
Yeah.
She's like,
Oh,
you
yeah,
don't
she
hear
was-
me going around saying that I'm bisexual. You don't know
nobody
I've
even
done
knew that.
this for
And like
this
all
and this.
the best
Like,
was they all were just looking around like, wait, what? You're what? And they were all like, Andy asked like Shannon, what, are you shocked? And she's like, no, I'm just shocked that we never came out. Like she never mentioned it, not once.
it's
Which
just
is
like
true,
she just
especially
kept-
with Bronwyn acting the way she was. You thought it would have
like
somehow.
she just kept through, like at the reunion especially. This is where I was like, oh, okay, I remember you now, Elizabeth, because she just kept like inserting herself in things that she didn't need to be. Like, no, this is the reunion. If you didn't make yourself worth it in the actual season, the reunion is not where you should be saved.
Yeah,
you know what I
no.
mean? Like if you were like questionable and you were like on the like, no, I think they were already like, you're not coming back.
And then Emily was just as boring. I mean, but I think it's only because she
Which
didn't
one's
have.
Emily?
Emily is the
The
brown-haired
husband,
one
right?
with the husband
Okay,
that was
sorry.
sick.
We really do get them confused because now I even got you calling her Gina too. But I think the reason is I feel like Gina and Emily.
They're like interchangeable.
No,
can I be
not
honest?
like that. I feel like Emily looks like a Gina, and I feel like Gina looks like an Emily, and I think that's where it's
No,
going.
I think so, too.
I feel like their names don't like they match. They match each other instead.
yeah.
So it's like that's where I get it. Did you actually rate Alyssa boring? You
Yeah.
did. You really did
Multiple
write Alyssa
times.
boring.
Multiple times. Where do you see it?
I see it right
Oh,
there.
yeah.
She brings Alyssa boring into the scene.
Yeah, no, it's a multiple times. I think it was
no,
up
look,
here
I
too.
wrote one comment for Elizabeth, and I said I'd never even heard of her. Don't question me on her, and she was a snooze fest.
Well, Emily was a little bit of that too. I mean, Ella.
You know what? But Emily.
Well, at least she had her husband's storyline, which was interesting.
No,
'cause
but they
that
do
was
bring it back. Emily and Gina, they can have their boring moments, but listen, I did say this I think about Gina last week. We're in the sit downs, she's kind of fun. She's kind of good. Like, you know what I mean? They can pull it out and not be boring,
Yeah.
But the issue is they're so always on the camera that, like, when they have their
a bit
dull
much.
moments that it's like, it's obvious. It's like, I
Yeah.
feel like when it's like Shannon, you don't always see her and then she'll come back and she'll be in full force. Like, I don't know. It's kind of weird.
No, I agree.
It's something that I've noticed, but they're not horrible. I wouldn't say get rid of them.
Yeah, well, she's enjoying her new hip and celebrating her anniversary with Shane. Who cares? It's not enough. No, it's not enough to be like, it's like, woo, okay.
Yeah, I don't even think I have a comment on her.
No, and I mean, the only thing that I could say is that she was a big time pot star.
Really? Yeah, that's
and she wasn't even involved half the time. So, like, that was what cracked me up. I'm like, well, in the very beginning, she was. Like, where she was like, did I tell you what Shannon told
That's
me
her
that
big
so-and-so
thing,
told
is-
me?
Yeah,
And,
did
she
you
was-
know? Did you know?
Yeah. and-
Like a little fact that pops up on the bottom of the TV. Did you know?
And it's like, enough, please, Emily, stop it. You're just ridiculous. But, yeah, she has to take the husband to the hospital, and it goes through the whole COVID thing of where, he has to go in by himself. And, I mean, I think they went as far as to say that he was, like, calling his kids to say goodbye.
Yeah,
because
his
he
oldest
really
kids,
thought
yeah.
that, like, he was not going to make it. Like, that's how bad
Well, yeah, because he was like those first ones that were
Yeah.
in the hospital. Serious stuff.
Yeah, so and the only other thing she did was when he did get better at the end, she hosted that beach party.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, and there was lots of tensions between Kelly and Bronwyn, and Shannon had problems with Gina, and it was a disaster. That was like the end of the season party. Like that was like what?
On the beach.
Yeah, I was like, wait, what? Ugh.
Have we done everybody?
No, there's still Kelly
Oh, God.
and Gina.
Alrighty, well, we'll do her bestie, Gina, then. Go with her next.
Yeah, Gina, she moved into that house. I thought the house was cute. I didn't think there was any problem with it.
Yeah, I just think it's the same thing. Remember with Lori? Was it Lori who moved into the townhouse? And it was like, oh my god. It's just because they have such huge houses that when somebody moves into like a smaller townhouse.
All those kids are going to do is sleep in that room. So bunk bed that crap up. I agree. I think that's a wise idea. What's wrong with them sleeping like the Brady Bunch did it?
You're only supposed to sleep in your room.
Yeah, I mean, come on now.
That's what the doctors say. You're only supposed to sleep in your room.
Yeah, so, I mean, I don't know how well that works when you're trying to put all those kids to sleep at the same time, and there's some little ones.
They look like they're the same age, though,
I think they're all,
so they look like they're
give or take, probably the same age. And it doesn't seem like they're all there at the same time either, because the husband, they go to the other side. I mean, so, you know, it could very well be where you only have three of each at a time. You know, they're not always going to be there, but, yeah, that becomes the big topic of conversation is Gina's house and how Bronwyn twists it later. And
it was also the husband. Remember, she was thinking about filing for the
that was
thing against the husband. That was the other really big thing.
Yeah, her storyline was about the husband, that they wanted to give the victim statement, and because of like all that was going on with COVID and stuff, and it dragged stuff out that like they had time. Like they had time to like work through things and stuff like that, and you know. I mean, they were saying that like he could have got jail time and stuff. It didn't even matter what she did at that point, and that's what happens with domestic abuse. Like sometimes it is removed from you because you can say I'm not going to file, and they can still charge the person. So it's But I understand he's not a horrible person, so you don't want to have him arrested and then put into jail, and then you're not going to get. Well, like not that you don't want to say you're not going to get money from him, but it won't be helpful. Well, no, her main thing was
like she didn't want the kids to be like, oh, look at what mom did to my dad. Yeah.
So, yeah, that's sad. And then we have Kelly the Fool. She's in a new relationship with Rick Leventhal.
Yeah.
He's a New York
Fox reporter or something. Weatherman or something. I don't know. He's something.
I feel like Weatherman too, but I don't think he is.
But I think she's just.
I don't think he is. I think he's just a correspondent.
Correspondent?
That's what it was. He was a correspondent, and I believe he's on the morning show or some morning show, something. I don't know. On Fox.
Don't ask me.
Well, he's getting transferred here, I guess, apparently, but then I guess he gets held up because of COVID. We all said she's not talking to Shannon in the beginning. She brings boring Elizabeth in. They apparently, a friend of hers lives down like a couple of houses down from Elizabeth, and that's how she met Elizabeth. And I don't even like Elizabeth's house. Because, like, what's her name said? Was it Gina? No, it was Emily.
Broadwin?
No. Was it Emily that said, do you, like, mind all these people right here?
Yeah, because she's, like, right on the beach.
Like, literally on the beach, like, where the pathway's, like, a foot or two from her, like, where she'd sit.
My best example of this is I've played GTA, and it's, like, an actual thing. Well, obviously, it's real, but I'm just saying. I've played GTA, and they have, like, the houses, and you can walk right down the paths to the people's houses are right there. It's kind of crazy.
Like, I know, but, like, even the shores that I've ever been to, like, there is...
You think they could have put, like, a little sand or
there's, like,
something?
a little, like, front yard. But, like, it just seems like you go out and there... I don't know. It's just weird. Like, I feel like they could have made the path a little bit distance, but whatever.
And that's it.
Well, Kelly, she's got her COVID problems. She doesn't believe in COVID. She doesn't believe in masks. She caused a lot of problems. I guess during the season she was heavily on her social media, and that caused her a lot of problems. Yeah, because
that's where they brought that up at the reunion. Which obviously for us, like, we're not actively watching this, so we don't know what she really said. But they said she didn't say good stuff.
Yeah, I know. They said she was making comments about. There was something that she said about, like, the people that were dying or something, and about God having a mass. What do they call that?
No, yeah, like if this was God's way of like
of cleaning,
like lowering the population.
Yeah. And that was a big one that people didn't like. And then she starts, even at the reunion, she was commenting on Bronwyn's character and whether or not her storyline was real, or was she just making this drinking thing up to have a storyline, because she was claiming something that she heard that Bronwyn's agent said you need to do something, I guess, to step up your game.
Yeah.
I mean, look, after the season that she had the season before, if you watched it and saw how you were, I mean, a drinking storyline wouldn't be that bad.
Yeah.
I mean, she's obviously going to AA and stuff like that, but obviously, she could have just done something simple if they told her that, but I don't know. I think she probably does have a drinking problem that she's dealing with. She's got a lot of issues that she needs to deal with. Well, because she said she doesn't know what, she's all confused with her identity and what she's doing and the husband and the kids. All right,
All right.
so season 16.
Yeah, let's.
Final?
Oh wait. Hold on. Season 15. I did forget. My reason for why I think it was actually smart to not have Timur come back is because, like we said, this season was really boring, and I feel like that, like, also, like,
You don't want her linked to that?
I don't think she. I think it would have been bad to have her, like, connected with it at all.
Mm-hmm.
But I think also it made you realize something's missing here. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's just somebody like you kind of do need somebody who. Obviously, she's not like an original, but she's original to when the show started to get good.
Yeah.
So I feel like you always need. It made you realize you need some kind of
Well,
OG, which I think is what Heather was.
brought back, yeah.
Because she did bring that back. And not that Shannon isn't, but I think it was just like.
Well, Shannon isn't an original. I mean, she's an original to a certain degree, but
Not the
like
same,
that.
no. But I think they needed to, like, let her go to come back and realize, oh, damn, that was a mistake. We shouldn't have done that. Whoopsie.
Yeah, so thankfully they did. But
Yeah.
this one premiered December 1st, 2021. And the wives were
Heather's
Heather
back.
Dubrow. Heather's back after 5 years.
Gina, Noella, Shannon, Jen, and Emily.
Yes.
So they did kind of clean out the wives to the most part.
This
Like, they
one,
did get out, like, half. They
They
replaced
just kept
half
the three
cast.
of them. Yeah,
Yeah,
kept,
so they
kept
did.
3. And Nicole James is a friend of.
Barely. She's, like, in the
She was
first few
just. I feel
episodes.
like she was just there to start some trouble. Or actually, I think she was really just there to connect Noella and a little bit of Shannon,
Yeah.
because that's who kind of brought Noella in, was Nicole.
Well, let me say this. I was, when I was watching it, like, I was forgetting that Jen was a housewife because she was very, like, little there, and then she'd come back up. But to the point where I felt like she was just, like, a friend of with a storyline.
She
I was
could have
actually
easily
sitting
been.
there on the trip. I think it was the Cabo trip, and I was sitting there, I was like, where's Nicole? I'm like, oh, wait, no. She's not, like, meant to be a part of this stuff.
No,
Like,
they
she was
said
really
they dropped her mid.
Yeah, she was
mid-season.
really just like a plot point, Nicole.
Yeah.
But
I think she was
I was
just-
more
that
questioning
was her.
where she was than where the hell Jen was.
Yeah,
because Jen was just like, ugh.
So do you have storylines, or I have?
Yes.
I actually did storylines this
Wow.
time.
All right.
Let's see if ours are the same.
Okay. So for Heather, I kind of made hers returning back to the show.
Getting back in the swing of things,
And her kids
Yep.
coming out, I would say. And
Yeah,
the other
like
one's
how they're
going
changing,
to
yeah.
college and things like that. Kind of just like, like
She
an
was-
update of where she is in her life
Yeah,
since
she
we've
was
last seen her.
very event heavy.
Yeah.
Like, my God, every
I
time I
mean,
turned around,
why-
she was having an event. Which
Why
I
would
thought,
you not? If
no,
you're
but
going to let
don't
her
you
do
remember
that.
her first season though? Like, she didn't want to have people in her house.
Yeah.
Like, she didn't know these people and stuff. Like, so.
Well, now it's different.
No,
I mean,
I
she
know,
did
now.
know Shannon at least.
No,
coming
I know,
back
and I
from
know.
this.
I think she gets the. I think
She gets it now.
Yeah, she gets it now, what the premise is. But I thought the beginning where they show her coming back into her
Yeah.
house, I'm like, where is everybody? I thought that was funny. That was a cute intro. And then what'd you put for Gina?
I put finally being happy in her life and launching her skincare.
Oh, see,
'Cause that's
that-
what she kept saying. She was like, I'm happy, my life's
Yeah.
put together.
I had her becoming friends with Heather. I thought that was her
Oh, you know what?
storyline.
That is true.
Yeah.
Kissing up to Heather.
Heather, kissing up to Heather. Seeing a good opportunity and running with it. Good girl, Gina. That's my East Coaster. Get
That's
it,
very
girl.
smart of her.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't kiss up to Heather? Like,
right?
that's what I'm saying. Like, why would you ever want to start problems with Heather?
I mean,
I mean, literally. I mean,
especially
I'll get
if you
into
had that tour of the house, you
once
should have
I get
been like,
into
yes,
Noella,
thank you.
I made some comments on, like, why would you even mess with Heather?
Not me.
All right.
Nobody's a match for
Well,
her.
we
You
could
just
do.
shouldn't do
We
it.
can say Noella. Hers is her husband being on the run after he files
Yeah,
for
with
divorce,
divorce. I put
and her
divorce.
husband, her father passing
Passing,
away,
yeah, a little bit of that.
because
yeah.
that was kind of more towards like the second half.
Yeah.
And then Shannon, I wasn't 100% sure, but I did say that I felt like it was like weirdly like when she was good with one side of the ladies, she wasn't good with the other side of the ladies. Like it was kind of that. Like she was like trying
I put
to
her
figure
business
out
and I really wasn't sure.
her business. Yeah, a little bit. But
Maybe her and
I
John
felt
and the
like it
empty nest was
kind of-
finally coming.
I felt like it was kind of like, okay, I'm not good with Heather, but I'm good with Noella,
Yeah, she
Gina,
was
Emily,
constantly
but then
trying
I'm not
to get.
good with
Yeah, she was trying.
them. And then
it was
like,
one of those seasons where she was trying to constantly
she's
get
trying
back
to figure
in it.
out where
Yeah.
she fits now with this group.
And now, what about Emily?
Her husband passing the bar finally.
Yes, I didn't
And
even put
celebrating that they made it through like a tough time in their relationship. You know,
Well, see,
like
I
they're
put
like
her
kind of good.
daughters. I put faith and religion.
Oh,
her finding
crap, I
and
forgot
starring the
about
pot
that.
again, starring it hot this
Yeah,
time.
yeah. No, I forgot about that too.
Dr. Jen, what we?
I put her husband loving the dog more than her.
Oh, that's true. I just put her husband Ryan, And a little bit
Ryan. She goes, I call him Ryan, but his name's Ryan.
Ryan.
Sits down and says that.
I'm going to change my name. I don't know.
No,
But to something stupid, no less. Like, that's just, why are you
that,
making your name
it's
harder?
Like, but why didn't he go, like, I want to be, like, if he was like, my name's Ryan, but I prefer the nickname Rye. You know? Because that's kind of like a nickname for Ryan. I don't
It's like
know.
Ryan.
Ryan. But it's not. But then when he's like, no, it's not Ryan.
I think her story, I think she was trying to also do a little bit about her, whatever this business was, she kept trying to, every once in a while, put in there, but, and her dad, but I really feel like her thing was just trailing behind Heather, trying to be Heather's friend too. Like, she was trying to be, but she was trying to be her sophisticated friend, because they had so much in common.
Yeah.
I don't think they had anything in common. That's just me, but, you know, what are you going to do?
I will say, you mentioned in the beginning that you felt like this was like it coming off of COVID. I actually felt like, to an extent, COVID just didn't exist in their world again. No, besides like the few workers with the masks.
That's what I'm saying. You still saw people with masks, but I think for them, because you were allowed to take masks off. What is he doing now?
He's trying to get comfortable.
Because you were allowed to take masks off, I felt like, yes, they just...
If you notice, they were at a... Was it this season or was it last season?
No, they were at a spa. They went to a spa.
Not like a spa. It was just like they were getting a manicure or pedicure done. I can't remember if this was this season or last season.
Was it Emily and Dr. Jen?
I think it was.
Yeah, remember when they were in the sauna and Emily was eating the sandwich?
No, they were getting just a pedicure done.
Yeah, and then they went into the sauna.
Okay, well, either way, I can't remember.
It was a spa day they did.
They were getting their nails done. All the workers had masks on, but if you look in the chair, the like other people getting their nails done had masks on, but only those two didn't have to have their mask on. Yeah. Like, I wonder if you walked in there and they were like, yeah, sorry, you guys have to have your mask on because we're, like, filming in here. Like, I wonder.
Maybe. They could have asked for special permission for that.
I mean, I don't know. I just noticed that was funny. Like, everybody else had one on except for these ladies. Yeah. But I feel like if you could justify it to the extent, because most of the time they're eating, that I feel like if you showed this footage to somebody in a few years and you didn't tell them what COVID was, they'd just be like, oh, well, that's how you should do food service. If you noticed,
every trip, they took a Cabo and an Aspen trip. Every trip was done on a private plane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why they actually brought Heather back, was for a private plane.
Well, I'm sure they probably.
Well, it just makes it easier. Now you don't have to go and quarantine them once they get down there.
But like, as you can see, I feel like Heather had the most going on because she had the most events too. For me.
Well, yeah, she did host most of the events, which led most of the drama.
Should we do Dr. Jen?
We could do Dr. Jen. I don't even know if I have anything written for Dr. Jen.
All I remember with Dr. Jen is that she always had problems with Noella from the very start. From the moment she tagged her in that darn Instagram.
Yeah. Which, I love that they're all, like, getting upset, but it makes sense.
No, I get where she was saying,
like,
from.
She's like, I have like, a deal with another one.
Yeah,
so
I don't want them to think that you're,
this.
I really don't know why she tagged her to begin with. Like,
maybe it was an accident.
I don't know.
Or maybe she knew and she was trying to start drama, but that's weird.
I don't know. I think always so. I don't think she gave it that much thought,
to be honest. Outside of filming drama is just weird.
Yeah, but see, I have that, well, Dr. Jen was kind of brought in by Gina because she went to her office and she invited her to Heather's party at her house, a sushi party.
Yeah.
And you had made a comment that I thought was funny, that when they first introduced her, she's in this tight-fitting dress and heels and all like that.
Yeah.
And then you see her, like, later on down in the show when she is in her office every time she's in scrubs.
She has normal scrubs on, yeah.
She's in scrubs every time. So I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
That, like, okay, clearly that was for show.
Yeah.
But Heather does invite them, her Dr. Jen, and I keep calling her Dr. Jen. I can't just do it. Jen and Emily.
Don't they refer to her a lot of times, Dr. Jen?
Yeah, well, Gina does, Dr. Jen. They took her, they went for, treated her, the two of them, to a spa day. And that was where, what you were saying with the nails. And also, that was when Emily whips out a turkey sandwich while they're sweating it out in the sauna.
Emily does a lot of that. They were in a store. She had like a liter bottle of ginger ale.
Yeah.
And she pulled out another sandwich at another location. I don't know what's up with that, Emily, but that was kind of weird.
Well, she said she felt like she was faint or something.
Well, the ginger ale, I think, was from drinking the night before.
Yeah, I think that was for drinking.
It wasn't just, your little bottle. No, this was something you get for a party. It was the liter-sized bottles.
I don't get it.
Which, okay.
I mean, honestly, I don't have much for Dr. Jen except that, like, she was having problems with her husband, which we couldn't figure out. Did she come on to show that she was having problems with him so he could see that?
Well, she kind
or
of
did she
said
come
that
on
she
to
did end
try
up
to like
using that.
get the divorce, or I don't know which it was.
I don't
but
know. It was it felt like a combination. Like she's like, I'll take. Like I feel like in her head she was probably like, I'll go with either. If we divorce, we divorce. But if we stay together, maybe he'll be better.
I just think it backfired because he was not going to have it. He was not going to discuss this on camera, and he let her know that, and she just didn't want to pick it up.
That's the weird thing, because the main number one fight, it makes him look like he is like such a jerk. Like, oh, I don't want to talk about this right now. I just think if you really think about it,
the way he did it, you kind of could tell that he just was not looking to do this on camera. He doesn't want to talk about it on camera.
And I think that's really it, because they continuously go on throughout the season being like, he's such an introvert. Yeah, why would he want to talk about his relationship on camera if he didn't have to?
I don't know, but every scene I felt like I turned around. If she was in it, it was her asking for advice from Heather about what to do, and the only thing that I think was quite comical was Heather tried to offer her to come over. I think she made a comment about it, and Heather said, why don't you come over, we'll have a dinner party, and you know, maybe if he sees how me and Terry are together or something like that, you know, it might help if he saw a good example of somebody or something. And she ends up getting like lit like a Christmas tree, and can't even function.
No.
So I don't know why she did that, 'cause she totally screwed it up for herself. But I mean, that one was quite
because then
comical.
that pissed him off. And now, of course, like he was like, really?
Who do I say has the least next? Did you have a lot for Gina? See, I don't feel like Gina did a lot either.
Didn't have a single note for Gina.
I feel like
Gina was just kind of there.
She was fighting with Shannon a little bit. That was a big thing, and it was. But I felt that was all self-created by her and Emily, because Emily kept putting these little things out there, like, "Oh, are you jealous, Shannon, of Gina?"
Well,
and
the main issue
like
this season was the fact that Shannon wasn't sure if this girl Nicole was the actual girl who had sued Terry.
Years and years
and they were like, and then when she found out it was, she was like, if it is her, let's just not say anything. And they were like, well, no, that's not right, you shouldn't do that. Well, and then they went on and snitched at the first part.
But see, I felt bad because here's the thing: whenever something like this happens, we always say, you're saying you're not going to tell anybody, but you're doing it right now on camera. But Shannon didn't do that.
No, she
this
talked
stuff
about
was
it
talked
privately.
off camera, privately, and she said, if it's not, if it is or whatever, we're just gonna let it go. And Gina just wouldn't let it go. She should have just let it go, because if she was okay with her and invited her, mind your business. Like, even both of them, like, even what's her name, Emily sat at the chair and made a comment about it in front of all the other women when Shannon came back. There was no need to do that. Like, you didn't need to put that out there. They didn't need to know what was going on in the back, but you made a point of letting now everybody know. So you got what you deserve, where, what's her name, Nicole yelled at you.
I feel like this is the true reason why Heather and Shannon can't be friends this season, is because of this stupid little thing. And I will say, even though I do love Heather, I do feel like she was just not understanding at all. Like, she didn't want to hear anything from anybody this season.
No, but I also think, like, Heather misunderstood what was going on with that. Like, because she in the beginning was mad at Gina too. Yeah. And then, like, Gina tried to explain herself, but she just wasn't, like, wanting to hear what Shannon's beef was. And I don't think she understood that Shannon had no intention of having that come out. Otherwise, she would have said it on camera. Yeah. I think that's why she forgave her in the end. But Emily's was basically to baptize her kid. That was her big thing.
Oh, we're on Emily.
Yeah, well, we might as well. Gina's done. There's what's left to say. I mean, Garadella. She had a Garadella party for her skin line. That was it.
The hell is Garadella?
That was the skin line that you said she was doing.
You know what? She mentioned that skin line, and Shannon was like, I don't even know what she's talking about. And I was like, Shannon, I don't know what she's talking about either. I never heard her mention the skin line once. I never heard her talk
about any of this or acting like she was. When she came out with this, I was like, okay.
What the hell is she talking about?
Don't know where that came from, but good for you, Gina. And I mean, I haven't heard from it since.
No, it's not called Garadella.
Garadella. No, Caradella or something.
Galacare. Caragalla.
Caragalla. No, anyway, we'll work on that.
You talk about Emily. I'm going to figure this out.
Yeah, so Emily, she is getting all up in arms over religion and faith and wanting her kids to have something to believe in, especially after Daddy got sick and da-da-da-da. So her one daughter is getting baptized in the Mormon church that Shane belongs to. Caragalla, that's what I said.
You did not just say Caragalla, you said Girgagalla.
No, I said Caragalla.
You did not say that.
I say, what are you trying to say I said?
Not that. I'm going back. I'm going back.
Go ahead.
We listened to the tape. No, you didn't. You said Garadella.
I stand corrected.
Oh, okay. I don't know what I thought you were saying.
I know what you were just coming to attack me. Caragella, which I have no idea. She said at one point what it meant. I don't know what it meant.
Okay, so it's supposed to represent her journey from New York to the OC. The Big Apple, and then Cara oranges.
Cara oranges?
Yeah, Cara, it must be a type of orange. So that's what the Cara is, and the Gala is from a Gala apple.
But she came from New York to California, so shouldn't it be
Gala
Cara?
I don't know.
Oh, she's a fool. Anyway, well, that's why we haven't heard about her again. Anyway, Shane passed the bar. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
And Gina had probably the best line of all time when she said to her, "So you're telling me they lowered the bar so that Shane could reach it?" Now we all know how short Shane is. Let's be real. So she even thought that was comical herself. Yeah. So I'm saying her words, not mine. But yeah, they lowered the bar so he could finally pass it. And look, I'm just happy for Gina, so this can be. I mean, not Gina, Emily. So this could just be over. This damn pig.
Like I think that's why they're like towards the end of the season they do seem better and like in a better relationship.
Yeah, so I think the stress of that is off.
I really think this stupid bar thing was really weighing it down.
But I think she also, the only other thing I could say about her is that she took pot stirring to a whole new level. Like she was really whipping it up. She caused trouble between Shannon.
She caused trouble between everybody.
Gina and her being jealous. She was mad at Gina for having a friendship with Heather a little bit. It was a disaster.
Yeah. I will say one thing on Emily. She had mentioned that her and her husband wanted to do a vow renewal, and the husband pointed out about the curse of the vow renewal.
She said apparently there's a curse, so instead she did some kind of wedding pictures.
They did wedding pictures, and he got her new rings and stuff. But you know what? I was kind of like, when I heard that, I was like, you know what? That means he must like her a little bit if he took a knowledge into the curse. Because he could have just said, well, yeah, sure, let's do it and feed into the curse.
He was a little nicer this season.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think this bar was like...
He was still sarcastic, but he was still nice. Like, he had nicer moments towards her, I think.
Absolutely
but they also
annoying.
said that they made, like, a whole talking thing, and they actually sat down and, like, created mission statements for each other and what they needed. So there was that. And the only other thing she did was organize that Aspen trip.
Oh, yeah, she did that
an equal
Aspen
disaster. Trip. But I have, like, the Aspen trip separate. So let's go into quickly Noella. Noella, I'm not a fan of. She was a little crazy. She appeared to be like she was going to be real fun in the beginning episodes, and then within like, the amount of time it takes you to say "Sweet James," she was like divorced or getting divorced or having flowers delivered with her divorce papers. I mean, it was to be served. It was crazy, crazy, crazy. He divorced her from Puerto Rico, where apparently they have a house.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of controversy about her.
They were like residents, but they're not really
residents.
I don't know.
It was all very suspect. I mean, I still think they're suspect because you're saying you saw on her Instagram a little girl that would have been older than the son. Yeah. So it's like, where's that little kid?
I know she's dating the younger guy now, and I think it's the same guy I saw on her Instagram.
So maybe it's his kid.
But I think I was seeing that girl on the Instagram before I was seeing the boyfriend on the Instagram, which is kind of weird. But also like. I mean, obviously, she could have not wanted the son on the show, but it's like the son is never a concern. Like, yeah, let's go to Cabo. Let's go to Aspen.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, I understand, he's an autistic kid, so you're not going to put him on. That, obviously,
well, yeah, and the husband may have not agreed.
Well, she had to find him first, but people definitely would have had something to say if she put him on. Which, I don't know, because Jacqueline had her son on, but I think for her, for some reason, with her the way she was portrayed, they would have had a problem with it for some reason, but... She didn't put him on, but like you said, every trip was like, yeah, I'm there, yeah, I'm there, yeah, I'm there. And I'm sorry.
Like, it was never questioning about the son at all. Like, I feel like she mentioned it once in a while. One person could have
said, like, oh, it's so hard to, like, yeah, she never even said, like, oh, it's so hard to leave him, and I don't like to leave him with just anybody. She only just mentioned it once in a while. Like, she would call her mom, and she'd complain about the divorce, but I never hear her go, how's the son? How's my son? Yeah, never.
It was kind of weird. I was like, what
never.
the hell
And
is
I
that?
don't even know if the mom had the kid. I'm assuming. Because it's not, you can't just leave an autistic child with anybody, because it just doesn't work like that. But so I'm assuming it was the mom because I guess she lived with her. But I mean, that was honestly really all it was, except a lot of controversy between her and Heather. Heather was claiming she bought her daughter a pornographic game. That was a big thing that went down in Cabo. That was like, I would have to say, the main storyline during Cabo was all the fighting between her and Heather, and like the misunderstanding, and then Gina not tell, and again Emily, did you know that you were a pity vote?
Yeah.
Like that you were a pity invite?
Yeah.
Like, come on. Like, you didn't, and like even Gina said, what, really, Emily? Like, you did not need to say that right then and there, and she didn't.
I mean, it's the truth, but
Yeah, but she just went there and asked her, like, could you reconsider? And she did. It wasn't like, I mean, she begged her a little bit maybe, but not a lot. Like, I don't know. So
I mean, I feel like she could have had potential to be quite an interesting housewife, because that husband, it's kind of is like, what the hell is up with that? Like, he just fled the country, moved to Puerto Rico for a little bit, filed for a divorce, then moved to Greece, and then
they claimed that she was supposed to be on the show.
They had said, he said they were reaching out to her
many seasons before, and she just never did, and he encouraged her to do it or whatever. But the only other big Noella story, in my opinion, was the Sweat Lodge in Cabo.
Yeah, the fact
Cabo
that she
was the
passed
first
out.
trip they took with Heather when Heather was going to look for a summer house. A second home in Cabo, and
she was gonna build too.
Yeah, which she was again gonna build.
It was mostly so she could leave her kids something.
Yeah, which I thought was a nice idea. I get that, but
That huge
I'm not
mansion
leaving
isn't enough.
I know I'm not leaving you a Cabo house, so
You're not leaving me any house.
No,
you don't
I'm
even
sorry.
have a house.
You can have the car.
That thing's already old as hell.
Still functions. Don't hate.
I
on
know,
it.
but my other thing I was saying about the Heather part, I mean, towards the end, Noella just took such a turn that like nobody could stick up for her.
No.
And
Okay, that dog sounds like.
hell was
I don't.
that?
I think they just opened the door to let him out, and he was so excited.
no, but it's
or
like,
he got his foot in the door. I don't know.
like,
One or the other.
I just feel like it was incredibly foolish for her to go and attack Heather, because even though in a sense Heather is the new girl, she's not.
She's not the new
She
girl.
walked right back in, and where they put her, smack in the middle.
No,
Well, not
she's
in
not
the
the
middle,
new girl.
because they had an odd
number.
they had an
An
even
even
number,
number,
so
yeah.
it was
But
her and Shannon.
Yeah, but she was.
But she bumped you right to the middle. You mess with her, that would not be the person.
And you're not gonna have a war of words with her, because it's just not gonna happen.
And
It's
I
not
do
gonna
think
happen.
maybe she could have made it to season 17, but I think if it was like Bravo was like, well, if Heather's not gonna like her, we're gonna choose her over Heather.
I think
Easily.
that if, especially with all the stuff that happened with Heather and Noella, I think that she would have been fine if Heather didn't hear these other things that Noella was saying about her. Like Gina told her, Gina told her stuff when they went to the racetrack, her and Heather, about stuff that Noella was saying, and that she thought she was fake and stuff, and like weird stuff like that. I think if she didn't hear these other things, I think some things would not have, because she seemed like she liked her when she first met her, when they went to lunch or whatever like that. So I think that's what started that.
Yeah.
If she had just had straight fights with her, like, I think she would have had a little better chance. But, you're not going to mess with Heather. Heather came back like a live wire. First party is a Nobu party that cost $36,000 that she was
Like, I feel
quick
like-
to cancel. Like,
I feel like, though, instantly, this just walked in and they were like, fight.
yeah.
Like, there was no, like, hey, how's everybody doing? Let's just, chit-chat, talking. No,
Nope, this
they
one
walked
came-
in and the drama started instantly.
Well, because Gina and Emily are ready for the drama, so they just laid it right out there, and Heather went like cuckoo birds. So, that was what the whole big season was about, was this Nobu fight.
Yeah.
This is, I think, where Shannon's big storyline is Heather. I think that's what her storyline is.
Well, yeah, because it's kind of like they left on a really good note. Why are they?
I didn't. That's what we were saying. I didn't understand. I thought she left on a good note, so I don't understand what the problem was.
Well, because I even think that this is going to.
Wait, can you pause that?
Okay, so I feel like I can see how season 17, how Tamara and Heather are not going to end well, because I think this.
No, don't say that. I love when they're
No.
together.
No, it's already been said by reports, by rumors. But I'm saying I can see it because I feel like the Shannon drama's gonna come back up in season 17. And listen,
You think Tamara's going to side with Shannon?
yeah, because listen, I love.
Well, she probably is going to try to solidify that.
I love
get
those
that.
Tres Amigas, but they do blindly defend each other without a thought for the
Yeah.
most part. They kind of do.
Do you think they're going to go up against Heather? That'd be interesting to see, because I don't know.
Well,
how
no,
that's
I'm
gonna
already
happen.
hearing rumors that they are.
Really?
I think, in my head, Tamara's going to come back in, try to get Heather out, get Taylor in,
Oh, maybe.
maybe even bring Vicky to an extent of maybe like a friend of. Get Vicky
Well, she
back in.
is. She is there.
She's a
isn't she?
guest.
Oh.
She's just a guest.
Okay, but she's in a lot.
She's going she's going on the trip.
on a trip, so.
But I'm just saying, like, I think she may try to wheel Vicky back in, or yeah, I think she's coming in to take out Heather. Down with the Dubrows. That's my opinion.
No, down with the DeBurrows.
No, I know, but I'm thinking so. But listen, we all have, if you haven't heard, Renegon from Beverly Hills that just opened a big money spot
That's true.
for Heather Dubrow.
That's true.
That's all I'm gonna say. I know we said she was gonna be our connection.
I think she'd be great over there because she came back with a vengeance. The first seasons, she hardly hosted anything. She didn't want people in her house. And this season, she had right off the bat, she had the Nobu party. She was taking people to lunch. She had Matt and Gina go to the racetrack with her.
I think she just gets it now. Like,
Yeah,
even towards through the other seasons.
And her husband definitely does.
No, but I'm saying, but even with the other seasons, like, she did start to get it
No,
after
I think
a while.
she did.
But
Yeah,
now
no.
I think she. Yeah,
But this
she's like,
season,
all
she
right.
came back with a vengeance. And I think she came back with the intention to help her kids and stuff because her one daughter wrote the book, and she had a launch party for her there. She had the Cabo trip. That was another big one. What else did she?
They go to New York.
They went to New York, her and Gina, to have the kids look at the colleges and stuff. Like, she had a lot of things going on, which I was like, whoa, okay. But, I mean, her and Gina together were kind of cute because it was, like, such opposites. It showed that she could be friends with anybody, down to earth. It doesn't matter that, and I thought how she was with her kids was really different than what a lot of people anticipated her to be like. I guess they, but I don't know whether to be surprised. I mean, she's very into her kids. Like, her kids that's all she says is
I think
her
it's just
family
because
is her
she
family.
has more. She's like classy, like put together. I think people would think she would
should
have
be
this
more
like
stuck
stuck up,
yeah.
attitude.
No, I'm not surprised. I think with her kids, she would have been like, even the one talk that she had with the younger daughter. Like, I thought that was like very nice, like how she told her what to do. But that Noella, she tried to go at her and tell her she like slammed a cameraman into the wall and all like that. That was, come on, like Andy Cohen said on the rerun, that would have been, if that happened and we caught it.
Especially somebody of Heather Dubrow, because somebody who's so put together loses her cool that much. Oh, come on, that's getting aired.
Right off the bat, she was already, all right, cameras down. I mean, but you see her go up very gently with her hand to the camera. So I don't know why she would ever think that. And you didn't even see her scream. I mean, getting crazy. You just saw her go upstairs and go, Terry, we're done. Like in her traditional, like, you never see her get crazy. I don't know. It was a very Heather heavy episode, which is, I think, what they were going for.
Yeah.
I think it was successful. Especially, look, what couldn't have been successful after 15?
No, well, yeah, I think that's what it was. And two, you gotta remember, we said 14, even 13. They were coming off these kind of
some weird
seasons,
stuff. Yeah.
so that, like, that's
they
what
were
I'm saying,
they
like,
were really trying to figure it out.
They needed somebody, even though people are like, oh, sometimes you gotta restart these casts over. I still think you need that original aspect.
You have to hold on to some of it. You gotta have some of it there. You can't just,
or at least, like, if you're gonna do something like where you wanna, like, Gina is probably is the youngest, right? You'd say out of all of them. I think she is.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. So if you wanted to, go with a new cast, you got to build up some kind of rapport with Gina.
Yeah, I just thought
like,
it was
to get rid of these older girls. But you know what? If the older girls are down to play ball,
but
and they are
here's
most
the
of the
funny
time,
thing is I think
that's fine.
I mean, Vicky was 60 easily, and I think she said she was 60, or was she going into her 60s or something like that? She was up there. Tamara and the other one are also 50, and I think the thing here is they just didn't act it. Like, New York was starting to act a little old.
Yeah.
Like, they were really starting to act a little old. So I think that was the problem. But these guys are
I think it's more like
not quite that, crazy old. So I think that was an issue. Ooh, click it on.
I think the difference, though, is they may be the same age as New York, but New York's, I don't know if this is the right word, ideology or way of life, views are a little bit older, which you would think of their age would match. But these girls act like they are still in their 30s, and they can, you know what I mean? They can hang with the best of them. Even Beverly Hills. Maybe it's a West Coast thing.
I think it definitely is, because they're all down with the facelifts and all like that.
So I think they're trying to match their facelift with their age. Maybe that's what the thing is.
I think they think they're still young.
Maybe that's why they can.
I mean, I'm still excited for when it comes back, because I think it's going to be definitely interesting.
I'll say it. I think it's going to be one of their best seasons.
So now this season will be what? Taylor, Heather, Tamara, Shannon, Gina, and Emily?
Yeah, but Taylor's a friend of.
Oh, Taylor's a friend of.
Yeah, so Noella's gone and Jen's gone.
Yeah.
Which I could see, because I don't really think there's anywhere else to go with either of those
Noella
two.
was a tough one because some people really, really liked her.
I think she could have done good.
I think she could have done good. I think...
If she didn't end it so poorly, I think they would have kept her.
I think they just... I don't know. I think there was nowhere to go with Heather because of Heather.
That's what I'm saying.
I think if Heather wasn't there, she would have came back again.
That's what I'm saying. If there was if it was like an either or, really, who are you going to pick? Don't even be foolish here. We all know they're going to pick Heather.
Yeah.
Even if you go like, oh well, Heather's probably more money than her. They're gonna pick Heather. They'd rather spend more money on her.
Yeah, no, and I don't even know if Heather's like requiring more money or like asking for a lot.
No, but I'm just saying compared to like when they brought them in, they probably brought Heather in for a good amount of money.
Yeah, I think she came just to use the show as advertisement. I mean, not that she needs it, but I think,
Well, yeah, because you can't really do that stuff on Botch. Like, they're not going to be like, hey, Terry, you want to go film outside the office?
Yeah,
No. That's not what that is. This is what this is. You film your parties and you promote yourself.
Yeah. I mean, because they did. They promoted a lot, too. She had a business with Terry, too. So, whatever
the couple thing or whatever that was. Yeah,
so there was a lot of stuff. But, yeah, so that's it. We are done with these women.
Finished. It does feel a little weird because we finished and we were like, what are we going to watch?
Yeah, we were struggling.
We're struggling. We don't even know what to watch. But yeah, we'll figure it out from there. Maybe once another housewife, not New York, New Jersey, and OC are done, maybe we'll pick another one. So if you have a recommendation of who we should do.
I'm thinking we should do Atlanta.
I do too. Feel like, actually, besides Atlanta, I think those Potomac ladies, they look like a good time.
Oh, they are, but Atlanta's a much better
time. Atlanta's also an original.
Yeah.
Also,
I think they would be.
You know what I love? Oh, I can't remember what it is. The Miami ones. There's something in that trailer that always plays on Peacock. The one lady says that she always says, and I'm like, that is so funny. It looks so funny. They're funny.
I thought they're constantly fighting. When I watched them the first season, they were funny. But
I thought they had less seasons. I thought they only had like 2 or 3, and I was like, they had 2 or 3. Maybe we should have squeezed them in.
How many do they have? 5.
5. That's quite a bit.
Yeah, but I don't know if they have as many episodes.
We'd have to look. I also do want to do Salt Lake City. Spoiler, if you haven't heard, Jen Shaw's 6.5 years to prison now, officially confirmed.
Does it say when she goes in?
I don't know. February, maybe? I don't know. But, I mean, I want to watch that. But I'm hearing also they might pretty much get rid of a lot of those ladies in that cast. But, I mean, I feel like they got screwed up with Jen Shaw.
I know. That's a shame.
But we did watch, like, the first season, so I'm kind of interested in those. But, there's so many. There's a lot to watch, truly. Yeah. So we'll have to figure it out. So
work our way through them.
You know what? It'll probably be easier. We've watched New Jersey, we've watched New York, we've watched Beverly, and we've watched OC. I think that's it, right? Yeah. And the girls trip. So
I think Atlanta really should be next because it's the next original.
Maybe that's what we'll left. Do. I mean, this was the original, so maybe we'll work our way up from like oldest to newest. So we'll figure out when we can work that into the schedule. Maybe we'll try to see when they're coming back to try to plan for them. But they have a lot.
Yeah, they're crazy. They're crazy.
We will.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, my God.
Oh, I choked on the spit. I was trying to swallow without swallowing.
All right. Well, we hope you enjoyed this journey with us watching
these. This was a little long.
It's long, but you know what?
It's 2 episodes.
2 episodes. And, I mean, listen, we did this in 16 weeks? No, less. 8 weeks? We did this in about
8 weeks.
There's 16 seasons. We put 1 up every weekend. We put 2 up every weekend.
Jeez Louise.
So maybe we finish this in just about 2 months, which is kind of impressive and crazy because we were also watching a ton of other shows at the same time. Speaking of that, check out our weekly podcast where we talk about those other shows that we're watching. Also, I'd recommend to check it out. At least check out the beginning and the end of that podcast so that you know what's going on with that because that's where we announce when we're going to do other bonus episodes and things like that. So if you want to know when, we don't have like an official date when we're going to post the New Jersey stuff. We're still figuring that out because
it would probably be on there.
Yeah, that's when we'll do that because it's going to conflict with another show, The Mandalorian. So we're trying to work that out now. So that's why we say check that out, at least when it comes back to that. Or really simple, easy fix.
And that's on Mondays.
Tuesdays. Our weekly podcast. Yeah. Sorry, I thought you were talking about
No, when the show... No,
it's on Mondays, yeah.
But the show is on Tuesdays.
A Housewives. Really easy way to figure out, though, what we're doing.
Follow us on Instagram?
Well, you can follow us on Instagram and follow and subscribe to this podcast so you know when the episodes go live. Turn on your notifications. And we hope for all our hard work, you'll give us a nice rating, please.
Yes.
Yeah. Let us know what your favorite season was.
Give us the 5 digits.
Alrighty. If you're on YouTube, give us a thumbs up. Don't give us a thumbs down. Instead, leave a comment telling us how we can improve.
That would be nice.
Yeah, I think that may be all. So thank you so much for listening and watching and
going on the Housewives journey.
It was a long one. I'm
until
tired.
The next one. Yeah, she needs to go. She's dizzy and
my head's heavy.
I'm tired.
There's a lot of
complaints, so we probably really need to
hit that button. Hungry a little bit too.
Oh, a little peckish.
I'm a little peckish.
A little peckish. So you're just talking about food. She seems better. I think she was peckish and she needs some food.
And my head's heavy.
Her head's
all heavy. I had today was a pudding cup.
There you go.
Pudding
Apparently
cup and
we
a couple
sound like
tater
we're poor, and let's have some tater tots and pudding cups.
Yeah.
And some Tostitos.
A little bit. Once again, not making a full meal anywhere yet.
Never. Why would you do that? If I'm not here to make a full meal, we don't make full meals.
No, it was just because we had so many options in the fridge. I didn't know.
So she chose none.
I chose pudding cup.
She chose none. Yeah, that's
All right,
that's
we're
how we
sorry.
roll.
All right,
Yeah,
well-
go hit the button so she can let her head hit down, or whatever you said. Heavy head. Heavy head. Hit the button.
Okay.
Don't use your head. Use your finger. Now hit the button.